What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the State Media House 2025 here in the Modelo Cantina. William Fauché sitting down with the man of the hour, the man of the day, Christian Hackenberg. As always, remember, college football is Modelo season. If you're listening right now, it's probably time for a reward. We're rewarding ourselves right now. Reward your full-time fandom with an ice-cold Modelo as the official beer partner of Penn State football. 21 plus, please enjoy responsibly. We're enjoying ourselves right now. It is the morning of the whiteout game, and there's nobody better to talk about it than Christian Hackenberg. Hack, how we feeling?
It's 9:35-ish, and I have a beer open. Feel pretty good. I think this is the crescendo. I think this is a build day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe we can shoot our shot too early.
No, it's a marathon. It's a marathon, not a sprint, for sure. Well, I mean, first of all, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about what a fantastic football game we saw last night with the Virginia Cavaliers just pulling off a whirlwind victory against Florida State. We were having a few Modelos on the couch ourselves. Well, I mean, how was that for you? I mean, Charlottesville boy yourself?
Bet the Who's on the fives, dude. I was
On
there
the
at
fives.
5. I was born in 95, so just bet the Who's on the fives.
I mean, they get it done again. That was a big time money line win. Shout out to GP, who also hit his CSC first official bet yesterday.
Yeah, you were fired up about that. I don't know. I don't think Charlottesville has been this excited for quite some time.
No, I can tell you that they haven't. I can tell you personally. I mean, there has not been many Virginia football games that have required me to take my shirt off while watching in my lifetime. But yesterday did justify that removal of the shirt. Of course, we've got our Penn State gear on now. It's whiteout day. I mean, this is my first whiteout game experience. This is my first Penn State football game experience. Just give me a little insight into what I'm walking into here, because all I hear from you, from every single person that's been to one of these games, is that it really is one of the most special environments in college football.
Yeah, it's electric. You're gonna shake your pants. It's fantastic. It's seriously. I've been to most of them. The only one I say, I'll give you credit. I've never been to Death Valley at night, like the real Death Valley in Louisiana. But yeah, it's been to Neyland, been to Tuscaloosa, been to Athens, been all over the place. Nothing quite like it. So, and like I said it all last night. This year, Coach Frank was asking for everyone to show out. I sincerely believe that this year has a chance to be like the show.
And it does feel like, I mean, you talk about Franklin too, like it feels like there is a call out to the fans, to the team, and there's a sense of greater importance with this game in particular, with this team, than, even in years past.
I'm talking irrespective of the games and the players on the field, like from a fandom standpoint. I think there's just going to be this emotional concoction that's in that stadium. It's a hell of a word.
That's big. I mean, it's 9:30. 9:34. You're pulling out
Fire.
yeah.
Little Jocko brain. Going this morning. But emotional concoction in that stadium, just because the expectations, the ups and downs, frustrations, people being pleased, fighting for narratives. And at 7:30, you're going to kick the ball, and at some point in time, Oregon's going to be packed up inside the 20 in that student section end zone. And
Rockets.
yeah, it's going to be pretty nuts. So I very rarely enjoy the ambiance of games anymore. I just want to sit there and watch the football game. But tonight, I think I'm as excited as I am about the actual football game. I'm more excited just about walking around the tailgate and then walking in there for pregame warm-ups and just kind of watching that stadium grow as people file in. And then when the team runs out of the tunnel, that atmosphere is going to be sick.
I mean, we'll get to the narratives here in a second, but you're talking about the atmosphere. Give us some insight into what it is like to be coming out of that tunnel on a whiteout game. What is that feeling when you're an 18 to 22-year-old kid walking out to 100,000 people, all painted in white, just absolutely going ballistic?
I mean, every game's special when you're at Penn State, and if you don't have the butterflies, I got small goosebumps on my legs right now. If you don't have the butterflies before you run out of the tunnel, like I think there's something wrong with you, and you should probably go check yourself in Indy. But just when it comes to these games, like I was always a steady Eddie guy. I remember the Ohio State game. I lost my shit in the middle of the huddle before we went in after pregame warmups. It was like one of the few times I ever did that. It was like the Will Ferrell moment. I was like, I don't know what happened.
You're on fire.
In the debate, you know? Like an awakening. This it was pretty electric, and you know, those things, like, again, irrespective of the play on the field, like that's what makes college football so cool, and we still have that, so we got to cling on to that. And as I've elaborated on here up to this point, there's just nothing quite like it. It's a bucket list for any college football fan.
Well, I mean, you've got college game day here. You're going to have, I mean, even this morning at 7:30 a.m., there are people just walking up and down the street in full gear, in their jerseys, ready to go. I know that the atmosphere is going to be unbelievable, and it's something I'm looking forward to. When we get to the game itself, you talk about the narratives. There are a lot of narratives flying around. This game in particular, not a very strong schedule heading into it. This is a statement moment for Penn State football, especially when you're looking at the college football playoff system, some of the early losses that some big name teams have taken. It just feels like this is, it just has an utmost importance to it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been so consistent for so long, but there's been that narrative of the big one completely warranted and earned by everybody involved. And these are the games that when you are at a place like Penn State or at a place like USC, Oregon, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, like these are the games that you are ultimately judged by, whether it's fair or not fair. The expectation is to handle business, and can you be 500 or above in these games? So you can't change the past, but you can change. You have control of what's going on right now, and then ultimately the next opportunity. So, you know, I've just looked at it and I've said it every year, like I feel really good about the team. But I really think they just need to cut this loose. And it's hard. Like Cohen and I were talking about last night. There's certain sports are not much different than society. Like there's certain people that are great leaders that arise kind of out of the ashes in these types of moments. So somebody's going to have the opportunity to step up. You know, people are calling for Drew, whether it's Drew or not. Like Drew just has to play really well. But I think somebody within that locker room needs to take the reins and just be like, this is the direction the ship's going. You need like a wartime leader.
When you mentioned Drew, who is it in your mind that you think is going to be that key player for Penn State, whether it be by their play, whether it be by their vocal leadership, how they set the tone?
Game's going to be on 15 shoulders.
Yeah.
He's going to have to make, it's not hard. He's going to have to make 3 to 5 difference-making plays with his raw talent. When he's going to have to make a play out of a play that's not there.
Mm-hmm.
3 to 5 times today. If he does that, I think win this football game with little stress. Not that it's like going to be a blowout or anything, but I think it's going to be like well in control. If there's a lot of fluctuations, you know, who knows? Because Oregon's got a ton of athletes, a ton of speed, a ton of playmakers, and their quarterback, kind of on the flip side of Drew, is also very talented, but relatively green and went 90 years. And he's going to have an opportunity to prove what his intangible makeup is in terms of when the lights are brightest, when every eyeball's on you, how do you go about your business? And like in sports period, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, like those are the moments that ultimately separates good from great. And someone's gonna have an opportunity there. So like that's the cool part just as a sports fan. Like there's going to be magic in here one way or another, and And sitting here drinking vanilla openings with a voice a little white.
Well, in talking about Oregon, like you said, fresh quarterback, a lot of question marks around him. What is it about Oregon that you think is, giving you a little bit of stress, a little bit of pause?
Love Dan Lanning as a football coach. I think that mentally they're going to be as prepared and as loose as humanly possible, and that's the thing is quiet confidence is the most dangerous thing in sports as you start climbing the ladder, because talent really, the talent gap gets narrower and narrower, and it's the 6 inches between your ears that ultimately separates anybody from the rest. So I do really, really like Dan Lanning. I think he's super relatable. You listen to his press conferences, you listen to the way he talks. I would go play for that guy. And that's kind of my judgment when it comes to head coaches and how they prepare their football teams. Like when I go play for that guy, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I run through a great ball for that dude. And that's scary. And then, couple that with the talent that he does have. I think that it's impossible to be fully prepared for this environment. It's impossible. You could blast white noise in practice, you can play Mobamba, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. It's impossible. You just have to mentally prepare your team to be able to, when you do get punched in the mouth, when that moment comes to fruition, how you react, and that ultimately is how you're trained, less physically, more mentally. And I think Dan Lanning has the right direction and has had the right messaging to have these guys as prepared as humanly possible. And I think that's always dangerous. When you have a confident, quiet, confident team coming in here that knows what they're about, and there's going to be no doubts, you have to match that on the flip side mentally as well. So we'll see if we can do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a mental battle with Penn State and Oregon, two programs that are up there at the upper echelon. They are always in the conversation. I mean, you rattled off a couple names, and you can't talk about college football without talking about Penn State and Oregon. And some things in life, like Penn State and Oregon, are just made for each other. Peanut butter and jelly, macaroni and cheese, Penn State football, and a nice cold Modelo, the official beer partner of Penn State athletics. If you're listening to this, it means you live and breathe Penn State football all season long. You know what that makes you? A full-time fan, which means you deserve a nice cold Modelo, because football wouldn't be the same without you. 21 plus, please enjoy responsibly. We're enjoying responsibly right now in the Modelo Cantina, State Media House 2025. William Fauché and Christian Hackenberg. Couple last thoughts from you, Christian. You're James Franklin. You're sitting in the locker room heading into this game, 7:15 tonight. What's your message to the guys?
I mean, is this like what's probably going to happen, or is this like what I think would just have me ready to like?
Well, why don't we go both? Let's get a PR liner first, and then we'll get the Christian Hackenberg huddle.
He's gonna say, "Cut it loose. I love you guys." It starts with "I love you," all that whole thing. We'll see you in all the night videos. That's what's going to happen. Now, what I would love to happen is CJF to come walking out of that tunnel on the big screen, just leaking from his forehead because he grabs denied Dennis Sutton's or someone's face mask and starts headbutting these guys, and it's just like, cut it fucking loose, cut it loose. And these guys come out ready to go. See, that's what I would like.
Yeah, we need like a Dan Quinn nosebleed coming off the face, looking like an MMA fighter.
Just straight war daddy, ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
You want to talk about breaking decibel records? That would do it.
Oh, people would absolutely go ballistic.
That would do it. He's got enough money. He can find a nice plastic surgeon. I think he should sacrifice his forehead.
I mean, we're already talking about that. I'm worried about the new the temporary grandstands. Those things are going to be shaking and quaking.
According to Michael Motti and the offensive line, they're quite serious.
Well, Mike Mowdy knows a thing or two about a sturdy protection. So I think that, if he has his seal of approval, I think we're all good there. Final thoughts, predictions. What do you think going into this?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a slugfest to start. I think it's going to be a slugfest, meaning like they're going to be filling each other out for probably a quarter. Like it's going to be, Mike said, like a 400 level type chess match. There's going to be timeouts. There's going to be noise. There's going to be critical third downs. I think somebody's going to try to take a shot early and kind of swing momentum.
I can see a big early shot maybe an incompletion, a little bit off the mark.
You go one way or the other, you know what I mean? But I think like someone might try to do that, but ultimately I think the first quarter is going to be a lot of jabs, a lot of body shots. And then we'll see probably that second quarter, someone's going to settle in. And I would love to have just a back and forth third and fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think the game gets to the 40s. I don't even think it really gets to the mid 30s. I think both the defenses are too good. But I do see this game being like a high to mid 20s, low 30s, high 27 game. So I'm not sure. I think Vegas is probably right, as they usually are.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, 3.5 kind of says a lot, and then I think the total's like 52.5 or something like that. So you know, that's about right where I see it. You know, 24, 27, 27, 28, you know, something like that.
Well, regardless of the game, as you said, that stadium is going to be raucous. We have been, leading up for 48 hours here at the State Media House 2025, live from the Modelo Cantina, Christian Hackenberg, William Fauché. It's game day. We're less than 10 hours away. We're about to head out, hit the tailgates, hit the scene. Make sure that you are dialed into State Media all day long. If you are not in State College, State Media is the place that's going to bring you live coverage on the scene. And if you're in State College, come find us wandering around the tailgates. It's the biggest day of the year for Penn State football, and there's nowhere else we'd rather be.